สวัสดีครับผมนี่คือพีเตอร์แพนจากแพนทูสกรีนนะครับตอนนี้กำลังเล่นเกมแวมเพียร์นะครับผมเล่นมาได้ประมาณ15ชั่วโมงแล้วนะครับตอนนี้คือตอนนี้เลเวลผมอยู่ที่เลเวล8นะครับแต่ว่ามี experience สะสมอยู่ที่ 2,000 นะครับผมคือสาเหตุที่ว่าทำไมถึงไม่ยอมอัปเดตนะครับไม่ยอมแบบอัปเกรดตัวละครนะครับสาเหตุเป็นเพราะว่าทุกครั้งที่มีการอัปเกรดตัวละครเกมนี้นะครับเราจะต้องนอนฮะทุกครั้งที่ต้องนอนข้ามคืนเนี่ยคือเกมนี้คือแบบว่ามันเกิดอยู่ในช่วงเวลาที่มีโรคระบาดเกิดขึ้นนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าเกิดว่าเรานอนข้ามคืนเนี่ยบางทีแบบสถานะของเมืองมันย่ำแย่ลงครับอย่างเช่นตอนนี้ไวท์แชปเปิลเนี่ยอยู่ขั้นซีเรียสเลยนะครับคือตกต่ำลงมากแล้วแบบผมไม่กล้านอนนะฮะอันนี้ผมรักษาโรคไปได้ระดับหนึ่งแล้วนะครับก็คือตอนนี้เฮลตี้แล้วนะครับอันนี้ก็คือ stable แต่ว่าผมได้รักษาโรคไปแล้วนะครับคือเหลือแต่นอนข้ามคืนนะครับโรคพวกนี้ก็จะหายไปนะครับยกเว้นคนนี้นะครับยังไม่ได้รักษาเลยนะครับตอนนี้เราก็จะลุยกันต่อเลยนะครับคือพอเลเวล8แล้วสู้กับศัตรูตั้งแต่เลเวล10เป็นต้นไปครับถ้าโดนลุมนี่ก็โหดเหมือนกันนะครับเหนื่อยเหมือนกันคือความสามารถในการต่อสู้ของเรานะครับจะขึ้นอยู่กับค่าความอึดด้วยนะครับ
Shouldn't you go back home, where you'll be safe?
Maybe later. But for now, I need to talk to my husband at the cemetery, Mr. Reed.
It's locked, all right.
ครับผมเกมนี้นะครับไซด์เควสนะครับจะมีตามนี้เลยครับเราสามารถที่จะดูไซด์เควสของตัวละครแต่ละตัวได้นะครับที่ขึ้นนี่แสดงว่ายังไม่เจอนะครับแต่ว่าเราไปเจอความสัมพันธ์อะไรบางอย่างเกี่ยวกับมันนะฮะ อันนี้ผมยังหาไม่เจอนะครับว่าอยู่ตรงไหนนะฮะคิดว่าเราลองมาหาเรามาลองทำไซเควสตัวนี้ดีกว่าค่อนข้างจะชอบบรรยากาศเกมนี้นะฮะบรรยากาศเกมนี้ค่อนข้างจะแบบเขาเรียกว่าโกธิกมากนะฮะเนี่ยมันจะมีถ้าเกิดว่าสำรวจไปเรื่อยๆนะครับมันจะมีบางทีก็จะมีไอ้ของแบบนี้ครับซึ่งมันคืออะไรมันบางทีมันก็เป็นยาที่เราเอาไปใช้แบบในการแบบวิเคราะห์นะฮะเราก็จะได้อะไรมาบางทีก็ได้เหรียญเนี่ยครับผมแต่มันอาจจะน่าเบื่อนิดนึงแต่สำหรับคนที่ชอบแบบสำรวจนะฮะผมว่าเกมนี้ค่อนข้างจะโอเคนะฮะคือไม่ได้ถึงกับดีมากเลือดเต็มไปหมดเลยครับผมอันนี้เป็นโหมดของแวมไพร์นะครับเวลาที่ตัวละครคุยกันบางทีผมอาจจะต้องเงียบนิดนึงนะครับผมเพื่อที่ได้ฟังเรื่องราวของตัวละครนะครับว่าเคยลองพูดแบบแปลตามแล้วแบบเหนื่อยอันนี้คือพยายามจะหาทางไปสำหรับจุดทำเควสนะครับแต่ว่าเส้นทางมันซับซ้อนนิดนึงนะแล้วก็ผมจะชอบสำรวจด้วยนะครับเผื่อว่าจะเจออะไรจริงๆนะฮะบางทีเราก็ไม่รู้นะครับแต่ว่าบางทีก็จะมีอันตรายเกิดขึ้นครับแล้วตอนนี้ผมเลเวลค่อนข้างจะต่ำนะฮะถ้าเทียบแล้วก็กับศัตรูบางตัวแล้วผมก็ค่อนข้างต่ำฮะว่าอย่างที่บอกว่าผมจะรอเลเวลอัพรวดเดียวเลยนะฮะนอนคืนเดียวแล้วก็เลเวลอัพรวดเดียวเลยครับซึ่งก็ลุ้นนะฮะลุ้นดีว่าจะตายหรือเปล่าเพราะที่ผ่านมานี่คือตายบ่อยมากนะครับคือเกมนี้ผมชอบตรงที่ว่ามันจะมีแบบยังไงมีความท้าทายระดับหนึ่งนะฮะส่วนหนึ่งเป็นเพราะว่าระบบคอมแบทของเกมนี้ระบบการต่อสู้ของเกมนี้แบบไม่ได้เพอร์เฟกต์มากนะบางทีก็น่าหงุดหงิดนิดนึงสถานการณ์ไม่น่าไว้วางใจเลยนะครับสถานที่โล่งๆแบบนี้นะอาจจะมีอะไรก็ได้อาจจะมีเซอร์ไพรส์นะครับผมแล้วก็จุดเด่นของเกมนี้มีอย่างหนึ่งก็คือเขียนบทค่อนข้างจะโอเคนะฮะการเขียนบทนะฮะคือเราก็จะเห็นว่าตัวละครส่วนใหญ่ก็มีดีบ้างเลวบ้างนะฮะคือที่เท่าที่ทำเควสมานะครับบางคนก็เหมือนจะดีฮะแต่เอาจริงก็ดันไม่ดีซึ่งผมว่ามันค่อนข้างจะ make sense นะฮะด่านนี้ค่อนข้างจะซับซ้อนนะซับซ้อนดีแต่ก็ไม่มีอะไรนะเป็นทางเดินโล่งๆสำหรับผมว่าเป็นการดีไซน์เกมที่เล่นง่ายไปหน่อยแบบดีไซน์เส้นทางไว้โล่งๆไว้ให้ดูซับซ้อนเล่นแต่จริงไม่มีอะไร สำรวจนะเนี่ยครับมันจะมีชิลลิ่งนะครับมีเหรียญตกอยู่นะฮะหนูนี่เราก็กินได้นะครับสำหรับคนที่ยังไม่เคยเล่นนะครับเกมนี้หนูเราก็กินได้นะครับเป็นตัวเลือกที่ดีนะครับผมจะพยายามไม่ฆ่าคนนะครับหมายถึงคนก็คือตัวละคร NPC นะฮะแต่ถ้าเกิดว่าเป็นคนที่เป็นนักล่าอย่างเงี้ยผมจะฆ่านะครับเพราะถือว่าเป็นศัตรูทางธรรมชาติครับผมดูทำไมดูแบบว่าดับเบิลสแตนดาร์ดอะไรอย่างนี้ก็ตามนี้แหละครับผมศัตรูที่เป็นคนนี้ก็เอาเรื่องกันนะครับโหดเอาเรื่องนี่คือที่ซ่อนของเรานะครับเป็นที่พักผ่อนนะครับเตียงนอนนี้ก็คือแบบว่าพอนอนแล้วก็จะอัปเกรดนะครับแต่ว่าผมจะไม่นอนนะครับเพราะว่าถ้านอนเนี่ยบางทีโรคระบาดพอข้ามคืนเนี่ยโรคระบาดมันแพร่กระจายนะครับผมก็เลยต้องจำใจที่แบบยอมเล่นตัวละครห่วยๆไปนะเพื่อที่จะแบบว่าโรคระบาดจะได้แบบไม่นั่นมากจะได้ไม่กระจายตัวมากนะครับอันนี้เราสามารถรีไซเคิลได้นะครับแล้วก็ทำเป็นอันนี้ก็คือเราสามารถที่จะปลดล็อกได้นะคือหมายถึงว่าอัปเกรดเลเวลของอาวุธแล้วก็ปลดล็อกนะฮะนี่ผมกำลังลังเลนะครับว่าจะอัปเกรดดีหรือเปล่าอันนี้เราสามารถผลิตยาได้นะครับผลิตยาตามที่ต้องการได้นะฮะผมไม่แน่ใจว่าวิธีใช้เซรุ่มมันใช้ยังไงยังไม่เคยได้ลองใช้นะครับเดี๋ยวขอดูคีย์ของมันนิดนึงว่ามันมีวิธีการใช้เซรุ่มไหมหรือจะเป็น consumable น่าจะใช่นะครับผมเดี๋ยวลองดูน่าจะเป็น consumable นะฮะกดยังไงวะยังไม่เคยลองใช้นะครับก็เลยรู้ละรู้สึกผมจะงี่เง่าเองครับโอเคมันจับโยนให้แล้วฮะตอนนี้คือถ้าใช้ตัวทีผมก็จะรักษาได้ครับผมแล้วเราก็ผลิตยาได้โอเครู้ละก็จะรู้ โอ้ตายเลยนะครับผมบางทีมันมีตัวละครที่แบบสามารถต่อต้าน ability ของเราได้ด้วยนะครับอันนี้ก็เพิ่งเจอเลยนะครับโหดจริงๆนะฮะเมื่อกี้เป็นศัตรูเลเวล16นะผมเลเวล8นะครับสู้ได้ก็บ้าแล้วจริงๆก็สู้น่าจะสู้ได้แล้วมั้งฮะเนี่ยฟื้นขึ้นมาที่พักผมจะลองอัปเกรดไอ้นี่ดูดีกว่าน่าจะมีประโยชน์ในอนาคตนะฮะว่าจะไม่นอนนะฮะจะไม่นอนเด็ดขาดจนกว่าผมจะรักษาโรคได้ระดับหนึ่งนะฮะนี่ฮะโรคสกาลก็คือแบบว่าสกาลเป็นแบบเหมือนธาตุซอมบี้ฮะเหมือนกูฮะว่าไปก็เหมือนกูฮะเฮยูเลเวลศัตรูเลเวล15ครับแต่เราก็พอจะสู้ได้นะถ้ามีตัวคนเดียวนะถ้ามีหลายตัวแล้วก็แย่เหมือนกันนี่คือข้อเสียของการที่ไม่อัปเดตฮะเกมมันก็จะยากขึ้นนะคิดซะว่าเล่นดาร์กโซลนะแต่ว่าระบบไม่ได้ดีเท่าดาร์กโซลมันยากตรงที่ระบบมันไม่ดีเท่าดาร์กโซลนี่แหละครับไปทางไหนดีทางนั้นก็มีศัตรูทางนี้ก็มีศัตรูโอ้อันนี้ศัตรูยากเลยนะฮะใช้คำว่าชิบหายแล้วยังได้เลยครับเราสามารถที่จะหลีกเลี่ยงได้นะครับโดยการเดินช้าๆนี่แหละมันจะมีสกิลล่องหนนะฮะถ้าไม่อยากสู้ก็ใช้สกิลล่องหนได้นะครับผมเดี๋ยวลองดูดีกว่าหวังว่าจะใช้ได้นะ
I'd head back if I were you, sir.
ในที่สุดก็มาถึงตัวเมืองแล้วนะครับรู้สึกปลอดภัยขึ้นมาเลยฮะเพราะว่าด่านไวท์แชปเปิลนี่ผมถือว่าก็โหดระดับหนึ่งในความเห็นของผมโหดเพราะว่าไม่ได้อัปเดตไม่ได้อัปเกรดตัวละครเลยครับช่วงนี้น่าจะเป็นช่วงที่มีบทพูดเยอะนะครับเพราะว่าผมจะไล่รักษาตัวละครนะครับไล่รักษาระดับหนึ่งแล้วนะฮะแล้วค่อยอัปเกรดตัวละครนะครับผมนี่คือแผนการของผมนะฮะ
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield too. An invisible and untold war is going on, and it must be stopped.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
เครตันดาร์บี้นะครับ เป็นโรคฟาติกนะครับผม อันนี้เดี๋ยวผมก็จะหาวิธีรักษานะครับ ต้องหาอะไรต้องหาที่ปรุงยาก่อน แล้วก็ที่เหลือนี่คือต้องรอปลดหินนะฮะ
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
เกมนี้ค่อนข้างจะแตกต่างจากเกมอย่าง Fallout ที่เรามีความสามารถอัพสกิลในการแบบว่าแบบเสน่ห์เพื่อที่จะแบบว่าล่อลวงคำถามของ NPC นะครับหรือเปิดออปชันพิเศษสำหรับบทพูดพิเศษอะไรเงี้ยครับแต่เกมนี้คือออปชันพิเศษจะเกิดมาจากการค้นหาเงื่อนงำเท่านั้นนะครับ
You are blinded by...
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences.
Quite a judgmental opinion.
But you are seeking up.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher, a small-time Torquemada, the Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
โอเคครับผมตั้งแต่เล่นมานะครับผมมีความรู้สึกว่า
I have heard enough for tonight.
ผมมีความรู้สึกว่าเนื้อหาของหลวงพ่อนี่คำพูดของหลวงพ่อนี่น่าสนใจที่สุดแล้วนะคือเจ๋งดีครับผมชอบเลย
Even now he judges your words and actions. The wars of men should not be your main concern. The disease upon us is not an accident of nature, but the punishment of a divine will.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game you play for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
You again?
Goodbye, Mr.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever. Madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No. But that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? I always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched.
You again?
Don't let you go.
What do you want this time?
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I found. And it pays well too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
You again?
Goodbye.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take it. Fancy buying?
You never lose your foot. Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. And these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis. Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
I'm sure your father did his best when he found this house. Times are tough for everyone, young man.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
You again? What do you want this time?
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on,
ครับผมตอนนี้ผมจะปรุงยาให้กับเด็กนะครับผมที่ชื่อแฮร์รี่เพเทอร์สันนะครับเป็นฟาติกทั้ง2 คนนะครับน่าจะปรุงยาให้ได้ทั้ง2 คนหรือเปล่าไม่แน่ใจนะเดี๋ยวมี2 คนแต่คนนี้ผมยังไม่รู้โอเคผมจะลองปรุงยาให้ทั้ง2 คนดูนะครับเยี่ยมเลยครับปรุงได้ทั้ง2นี่รีไซเคิลนะโอ้มันเลยครับผม
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
ครับนี่คือผมจะรักษาเด็กคนนี้แล้วนะครับผม
May I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
มันจะมีปุ่มให้รักษานะครับเป็น medical check up อยู่ด้านบนนะ
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do.I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
นี่ครับเรียบร้อย
You'll feel better with this.
ให้ยา
But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
โอเคเรียบร้อยแล้วนะครับผมคราวนี้ก็ลองเช็คดูก็คือนี่ครับ recovering นะครับต้องนอนก่อนนะฮะต้องนอนก่อนไอ้ตรงนี้มันถึงจะขึ้นนะครับ
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
I will see you later. Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly, but it is not your concern, Doctor.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on...
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. There's nobody here.
Science fails you. This elixir will give you faith again.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
It's locked.
You'll understand. You've wasted your life away. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife. Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me. Die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. she's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London, so you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
All your problems. As long as you have the money.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life
Its
away.
effectiveness has been proven by...
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
A gun, alcohol.
Cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley drinking worse than a weed. I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even
Bloody hard boy.
How are you, boy?
I'm not...
Do you need assistance? There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling. No one's there.
I'd step back, sir.
It's a leech! Kill it! There's one of them vermin! Smells like rotten meat. One near, I know it. Stay close, keep an eye on each other. Not a safe place right now, sir.
Sir, no civilians allowed. Are you bloody stupid? This one's mine! Killing's all you.
Leech! Hit it! You pay for that!
Way this week, Joe. Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Baron.
to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
You again?
Goodbye, Mr.
I should never have taken up my father's business.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost. There's a letter inside. A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife, addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
Cheap price, good quality.
Fancy buying something, sir? You never lose your focus, do you? I found this box in an abandoned building nearby. I believe it belongs to you.
Let's have a look. Yeah, this is mine. So, you faced those loons that roam around there. Extraordinary.
I suppose I was lucky.
Luck is a commodity round here. Yours should be properly rewarded.
About this package, it's not just tools and trinkets, is it?
I want to be rude or anything after your kind gesture, but it's none of your business.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile, not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Barrett, you had an affair with Joe's wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved. My first regret is that she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Do you mean you're Harry's father?
No one will ever know for sure. And it's better that way. And I don't believe I'd have been all that bad as a dad.
Did you ever try talking to Joe?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Fancy bye.
You never Right then.
You again?
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems, as long as you have the money.
leader here. Sir, step away! Over there! There's one of them vermin! Over there! There's one of them vermin! Oh, Christ! I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have to go.
Good evening, Doctor.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Goodbye, Miss.
As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye for now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
I'm quite busy, right?
Thank you. Good evening.
And good evening to...
Did you know Dr. Ackroyd never reported your experimental research, despite the fact he doesn't agree with it?
Really? I didn't suspect he knew about my work. I must confess I am surprised.
Perhaps he thinks you should realize for yourself the danger of what you're doing.
See how condescending he can be? My God, he can be so irritating.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. I cannot enter. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Touch me with your disgusting hands!
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
Step away, sir. Don't come closer! Stupid beast!
Turn around if I were you. Didn't you hear me? It's a leech! Kill it!
Filthy fucking beast! Yeah! Back to the bloody grave!
Die, vermin!
You had better return to Whitechapel without...
Safety isn't really an issue in White...
the pain.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Feel disgust on every street corner.
ครับผมตอนนี้พาร์ทนี้ก็ต้องขอพอแต่เพียงเท่านี้นะผมแล้วเจอกันใหม่พาร์ทหน้านะผมบ๊ายบาย